This is a short little video to show you the location of the air inlet actuator for, well, at least this is a 2000 Silverado. I think it's the same for a 99 through 2005 or 2006, something like that. But this is the actuator, so when you hit this button here, the fresh air versus recirculated air, this is the actuator that makes the changes. I was getting a lot of popping just at different times as I was driving, and I ruled out this bottom actuator, which is the air temperature actuator down here. I ruled that out because when it was popping I could actually hold my finger on this actuator and felt nothing, so that ruled that one out. So then I did a little more research and found that this actuator, and I'm looking, this is where the airbag goes. You have to take off the dash cover, the big dash pad. That's pretty simple. It's just some screws and the safety handle that goes here above the glove box, and the airbag has to come out, and there's an actuator straight back in here. Get a little light. That green wire is leading to it right there. That is the actuator that controls this door right here, which is the air inlet door. That controls whether it's recirculated air or it's fresh air. That is the actuator with the green and brown wire going to it and the black wire going to it right there. The hardest part was trying to align the shaft of the door with the output shaft in the actuator. When I bought the actuator, it was full one way, because unlike the temperature control actuator, which will stop at any point between both ends, this one is either all the way open or all the way closed the other way. So after probably about an hour of trying to put the shaft on, after trying to put the actuator on the shaft of the door, I went ahead and plugged the actuator in while it was still loose and just laying inside here. And I would turn the key on, and I would push either the fresh or recirculated button, and then as it would start to move, I would wait till it got halfway, and I would cut the key off so it would stop right where it was. Problem being, this door, it was just impossible to line up the output shaft of the actuator with the shaft of the door. But by stopping it halfway, I was able to take the blower motor out and put my hand up inside where this flap is and move it back and forth as I push the actuator into its spot. That way I was able to align the shaft of the door with the output shaft of the actuator, and then it went into its place fine. The next hardest part was just getting the screws in. You can't see you can't see either screw from this angle, but that is the actuator that controls the air inlet door. And one of the screws is right up here through this crack. I don't know, there's a gold, barely see it right there. That gold screw nut, bolt rather. And there's another one on the opposite side of the actuator, and you have to run a screwdriver in here and feel it with one finger, and then put the socket on it with the other. So it's quite difficult to screw that actuator back into place, but it can be done. It just takes lots of patience and a couple of scratched arms as you run your arms in and out of this hole where the airbag goes. But I have a repair manual, the 4-volume repair manual, that walked me through taking the dash cover off and the airbag out. You certainly have to take the fuse out for the airbag and then unhook the airbag. They have like a safety catch in here that holds the airbag connector together. You have to pull that out, and then you just disconnect it, and there's 4 bolts that hold it in. So it's not by no means impossible. The actuator was about $60, but it's probably been about 5 hours so far, and I just put the actuator back in. I had to put the dash all back together. So good luck.